Hello and welcome and Merry Christmas. This is the Kuma Baer Workshop. I'm going to build a Lego set and I'm going to hang out with all of you. And before I get things started, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. It's a Monday. It is Christmas Eve, and yes, I got the Christmas lights. I've had the Santa hat for a few days because I decided I would just do it anyway. And also, of course, I made sure that I had some royalty-free Christmas music playing before the stream started because I don't want to get a DMCA takedown for music. And I don't want to deal with the VOD that's going to go out to my YouTube channel later, giving me the troubles. I want to thank you all so much for joining me here tonight. I hope you're having an excellent time here on this Monday. So, Lord Creston says, hey, Pat. Hey to you, Lord Creston. You may remember that on Saturday stream, I was working on a Mega Constructs, the Mega Pokemon Kanto Region Pokedex. It lights up. It's very cute. I was working on that. So I should be working on that tonight because I didn't finish it, right? Wrong. Around the holidays, sometimes I like to do themed builds. This is one such year that we're doing that for Christmas on today and then wrapping it up on Thursday because I think this will be a 2-stream build. It might not be all of Thursday, but it'll be all of tonight, definitely. I am working on a Lego set that is the Lego Advent Wreath. It is the part 2 of the Lego Christmas Wreath 2-in-1. The main build is the Christmas Wreath. This is the secondary build, which does the Advent calendar. Yes, Advent is before Christmas. This should technically, I should be doing this before Christmas, but whatever. I bought this kit a few years ago and realized like, oh, hey, I never built part 2. I saved it. It's been in my closet. I think I had last year I know I did a 1-stream build of a Christmas penguins thing that was very cute. So I know I did that last year. I don't know what I did the year before because I think this is 3 years ago that I did that thing. It's been in my closet for a while. Now it's time to build it. It's time to do the thing. Do the dang thing. So these lights we're only on the pre-show and they are here. Don't worry, they will not be on the whole time because I think that would be distracting. It would at least be distracting for me. Let's go to the overhead. Our nice bright lights in here. I got 2 very powerful bulbs that are fairly new to the stream. I have white balanced properly considering the light. We got a little bit of a shadow coming in just because of the instruction booklet here. And I'm making sure that I did this properly, and I did. I started the first one here. Lord Crash says, happy birthday, Frosty the Snowman reference. Indeed. 150 stream streak, Lord Crash, and thank you very much for that. Appreciate you being here. And thank you to everybody that's here. If this is your first stream, or your first stream in a while, or your 1,000th stream, I appreciate you being here. But let's continue. So, a thing about this Lego set, as I mentioned, it's these. Okay. I was like, what color do I need here? As I mentioned, we're starting by doing as you can see in the photo above us, the Advent calendar, or the Advent wreath. We have to start by making the whole section there. So we'll start by doing that. So I had this in the box, still in the box, all the pieces. Sometime after I concluded the first part of the build, the wreath, which is huge, and I finished that. This is the main part of the build. I finished up the wreath. I did take apart everything. I did disassemble the kit completely and save all the pieces. There is a chance, because it's possible that I did mess it up somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I did, and I'm pretty sure that I got everything that we need for this build, and it'll all be there. So I got everything together that I needed, and there's just one thing that happened. One silly thing that happened. I didn't know at all. The box was just full of pieces. I did this, which will be the candles. I had this all together because this is not part of the Christmas bit. This is not part of the wreath, the regular Christmas wreath, like the wreath you put on a door. I just didn't do the like all of the knowing. Like you can see here, all our leaves here. I have them all together like this so that I can just find them nice and easy and pull them out when I need them. I didn't have that done. I didn't have any of this done. So that was a lovely present, a Christmas present from past me. I actually took this out yesterday to get it all together, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, so I spent a good portion of last night knolling all of this and getting it all together. All right, so I did one of these. This one is different than the rest. It's got a red bottom to it. I think this is supposed to be the top of it, but we finished that one. And now I need to build 15 of them that are basically exactly like this, except this piece here, instead of red, it's green. So I have to do this 15 times again now. So I'm just going to get all of the components that I need here, and I'm going to try to... I don't want to do them all at once, so I think I'm going to try to do all 15 at the same time. I think we're going to do that. This is going to be the bulk of... This step is pretty much the bulk of the build, as far as I'm concerned. So let's just do all of this page. Steps 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to do this 15 times. So we need 2 of these and 2 of these. We'll do this one step 15 times, and then we will do the other steps again 15 times and do all that. So this is going to be, in my opinion, fairly monotonous. I have to make sure that always that it's like this, so that way they all interconnect, so that when I do the next one, it'll go like that. I have to make sure these are the right direction, otherwise I have to take them apart to fix them, and I would prefer not to do that. So this is the first step of 1 of 15. Let me just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I have all that I need for that. And then 4, 12, 13, 4, 8, 12. Yeah, okay. We should be good. I should have exactly enough of all of these, hopefully. And if not, this piece will be hard for me to replace. I do have a lot of random ass Legos, so I could theoretically replace them, even if maybe they weren't the right color. But this piece, I don't think I have a spare of anywhere. So yeah, so now I'm just going to do this a bunch of times. We'll just go through this and do all that. It's not the most exciting. Reminder, I'll say this a bunch, but I am going to just throw the reminder out there that I will not be doing a stream tomorrow, which is my normal Tuesday evening stream, my bonus stream. No bonus Tuesday stream. My bonus stream will be this Wednesday. So I'm not doing Christmas Eve on Tuesday. I'm doing Christmas Day evening. And that will be Diorama Builder. There is a Christmas stage, so we will work on that. I don't think we're going to finish it, but we'll at least start it. And I feel like that'd be a nice little come down, you know, because a lot of people, not everybody, of course, a lot of people that celebrate Christmas Day do it earlier in the day, do it in the afternoon. So I feel like maybe they'll be free in the evening for me. Whereas I will be busy tomorrow. And again, I just didn't feel like doing it on Christmas Eve. I do want to celebrate, but I was just like, I don't really want to do Christmas Eve. All right. So we're getting there, folks, on the fairly monotonous part 1 of this build. So again, we have to do 50 times. I have to make sure I'm triple checking to make sure, because I need to interlock all of these like that. Make sure they all interlock correctly. So I am triple checking to make sure I'm doing this one step correctly, because the rest of them I'm kind of doing on semi-autopilot. I don't have a lot of news stuff to talk about towards the end here. I don't really have a lot of topics today because a lot of the news sites don't have a lot of people working. There isn't a lot of news in gaming and entertainment. I do have a few stories we can talk about. There's an update, a pretty cool update that we can get into. Some stuff like that, but I don't have a lot of content that way. I did leave the house today and go somewhere. My dad wanted to go and buy some gift cards, some last minute items, so I went with him on that. My Christmas shopping is done, but he had a few things to get, and so I just kind of went with him just to get out of the house. So My life right now is I work from home, and I don't really get out that much. I go for walks. That's like one of my main exercises, and also good for the mind, just to go out and see what's up. Sometimes just listen to music, sometimes listen to podcasts, whatever I want to do, however I want to do it. But I do get out of the house like that. But I haven't really gone anywhere in a while. This month has been very busy, and I just haven't really gone places. So it was just yeah, all right, I'll take a drive to the big grocery store, not the local small one. I'll take a drive, even though it's the day before Christmas Eve, and why are we doing this? So sure, I'll go out. That was nice. A lot of Pokestops right around there, and right now I'm trying to catch some Pokemon, because I got a couple Pokemon in Pokemon Go that can only evolve if, while you have it, while you have the Pokemon in your party as your buddy, you catch a certain type of Pokemon. So I had to catch some dark Pokemon, and luckily there were a few dark Pokemon around, and I managed to do that. And so now my Pan-chan has evolved. My little panda friend is now a big panda, and that's great. Anybody with some good decorations? Yes. So the people that go buck wild in my neighborhood for every year, they go just absolutely wild with Halloween decorations, have stepped up. So there's some good people doing some good Christmas stuff. And the one weird one is it's seemingly gone. So it wasn't weird. I want to say this. Normal to have an inflatable Santa. Normal, right? In a yard. Normal to have a animatronic Santa, right? Hey, Lashrick, welcome. Weird. I'll say this. In my opinion, if you have that, but also, it's hard to see because it's not in your yard. It's in your, it's right by your front door. Then that's fucking weird. So these people, who I'm sure are lovely, I don't know them. They're my neighbors, but I don't know them. They have this big inflatable animatronic Santa Claus. So it's both inflatable and animatronic. But their garage, their garage isn't like parallel. Like if their house is here and their front door is here, then their garage goes out like this, or like this here, right? This is probably better, right? So it's like that. And then Santa is right here in front of the front door. A shadow with guns will be Santa Claus. So if you're walking this way like me, and I'm walking along the road, you don't see Santa until you're right here and you happen to look over. So there will be days where I go for a walk and I forget that Santa's there. Now, when you come back, their house doesn't extend this far, so it's actually a little easier to clock Santa. But every fucking time, if I happen to glance over, suddenly there's this movement, and I'm like, what's that? And it's fucking Santa. It's big inflated animatronic Santa, just moving around and waving at me. And it gets me every time. And it shouldn't get me. It 100% should not get me. But guess what, folks? It gets me. Lord Crashton says, if I drive home in the dark from work, I see somebody's house or maybe multiple houses lit up through the woods that separates the highway and their neighborhood. Nice, yeah. Some people go wild with it. I'd like to think that our house is tasteful. Maybe it isn't. Maybe other people wear gauche because we have a couple lit up reindeer, but they're not super bright. You can see them, but they're not overpowering. And we do have a couple lights that go to that light up our front door, and two of the windows that have wreaths in the window, and so that gets illuminated. We used to do more Christmas lights. Oh, actually, this year my mom also added tiny wreaths on the lights that are on for our either side of our garage, which is I still maintain tasteful, but it maybe to some people it is a little too much. But we don't go wild. We don't have inflatables. We don't have animatronics. These reindeer are fairly new for us, but obviously you may remember this. This is a bunch of years ago, right? This is a bunch of years ago. Suddenly, everybody had reindeer or especially Rudolph, but like that, or a sleigh or something like that, lit up like decorations that like that, just be like, metal frameworks just became like a very popular thing. And my mom fell in love with that real early. We didn't like buy it at a big store. We didn't buy it at like Lowe's or Home Depot or something. My mom like found the ones she liked and asked the person that owned the house where they got them, and got recommended like a woman to talk to, like a crafter. Our original one was like handcrafted by someone who was like taking orders months in advance to do them because she could only do them so fast. And then it became way easier to get them. And I am not saying this to be like, oh, well, we did this before it was cool, but we did do it before it was cool. I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Let me just jump ahead one step. I'm going to jump ahead one step on one of these just to make sure that I am doing this properly, and I haven't missed a step or messed up a step somewhere. I don't think I have, but I want to make sure. You know what I mean? All right, so this goes like this. Then I need light green goes like this. Then this goes here, and that goes there. Okay, so this is the completed one. I have to do 14 more of this step. So we can put that there. All right, so the next part of the step, I know what I need to do there, and I can do that. Great, excellent. Go back to doing this step. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what I was really getting into there, other than like, I think our decorations are pretty tasteful and look pretty good. There's some people that go really wild with it, and I think that's fine. Nobody in our neighborhood goes like unbelievably bonkers with the amount of lights, Christmas lights. I'll say this one thing. There are people in the neighborhood that do the one light I don't enjoy, which is the projected light on a wall. Like the light displays, there's this tiny little device that just like hits a wall and then like patterns emerge. I don't like that. Like, over the garage, there's this laser light show thing. I just think that never looks as good as you in your head imagine it looks. You know what I mean? I just don't think it ever really kills it. I don't think that it like ever like fully nails the look that someone's going for. That's just cheating. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it doesn't, like, I don't know. I think hey, if you have a string of lights and you have it automated so that they flash to a song, and then you like, if you go on that direction, I think that's totally fine. I think that's totally cool. I think you should go for that. But I just think the like laser light wall display thing is just It's just not, it's not my style. It's not my vibe. I don't know. But, at the end of the day, I want people to decorate how they like to decorate. I'm also, and this is a product of the environment that I am in. There are a lot of people in my neighborhood that have palms. Not when you think of a palm tree, these are slightly different than that, palms, but there are palms. So some people decorate those with lights, and I think that's totally fine. But some people take it a step farther, which I'm not the biggest fan of, which is they go buck wild on the like Southern Santa makes sense to me because we're in the fucking South. I'm here in the South. So yeah. But like they're going like almost like beach Santa, and it's just like Caribbean Santa, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't like, if your Santa Claus has a Hawaiian shirt, I'm just like, I don't know. You're gonna put a lei on your reindeer? I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's a different kind of Southern. That's beach Santa, and I don't know if I can fuck with beach Santa. But I get it, it's a regional thing. Some people do it in warm climate. They just, because they don't have snow, they like pivot incredibly strongly because they don't have the fun snow stuff going. And I get that. I understand it. There Like me, there are a lot of Northerners in this area because my neighborhood is not a retirement community. It's just a community full of a lot of people who retired. There are two kinds of folks here. Three, actually. We'll say three. People who this is their last home before assisted living, or their second to last home. They are downsizing. They are older. They are retirees, or they've been retired for a while. They moved, down south for the cost of living, and also for the weather. That is a lot of people in this area. Also, there are people who this is their first homes. They have small families, or they are newly married. This is the first home that they are paying for. They have purchased a home. So, and it's not big enough for a full, huge family, but they're making do with that. There are some houses in this neighborhood that are actually fairly large, but most of them are not. Most of them are like 2 bedrooms and an office kind of a thing. And then there's the third thing, which is the rarest, which is somebody owns the house and then has roommates, or owns the house and has rents it out to multiple people. There are not a lot of renters in my neighborhood. Fairly recently, there like a couple people moved in, and it's very clear that they're just all friends that all got in together, and somebody had the money for the mortgage. Or for the down payment on it to get the loan, but they're basically like investing it all in together. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's incredibly rare. There are not many people pulling that maneuver here in this neighborhood, and good for that. You get a projector and play Rack and Bass Classics on the garage. Yeah. Rack and Bass Classics, I totally get what you're saying. You want to play Rudolph, you want to play, get your Heat Miser and all that. Of course, Frosty the Snowman, Thundercats, Rank and Bass Classics. Did you know that? Did you know, folks? The claymation people, Rack and Bass. Did you know that they that one of the first things they started doing as a studio was hiring Japanese animation studios to make animation for America, like Thundercats and a Godzilla. And have you ever seen, probably on like Everything is Terrible, like clips of a Godzilla cartoon where Godzilla is not as big as it should be, and it's also there are a bunch of kids and Godzilla is a friend. Godzilla is their like cool hookup friend that like helps them out in a jam. That's also Rankin Bass. They just licensed. It's not even that they licensed like other footage. They basically just like had Japanese studios making animation on the cheap for America, including Thundercats. I learned that like a couple days ago, and I was like, well, 'tis the season for me to share this tidbit, because I don't know when the fuck else I would ever be able to tell anyone about this shit, but it's fucking wild. That's a real, true thing. But yeah, as far as decorations, inside the house, we got the tree, got the big artificial tree. That's good. I got a small little tree here in the artificial, of course, here in the bedroom that I can look at. That feels nice. I got a little bit of Christmas lights that I've used in a couple videos, just in the background. So the videos that I use where I'm not using the background remover. I thought about maybe having the background on for this stream just so I could show it, but I didn't want to make my bed today, so I didn't do it. Instead, I just have the background remover. I know that the Christmas lights are on behind me. I know they're on, and luckily they don't mess up the NVIDIA broadcast background remover, which is great, because it would be a bummer if it removed that. I would be really annoyed. Oh boy! All right, let's keep going with this. Keep going with all of this. We're almost done with these 15. I have a few more pieces to put on here, but we're getting there. We're almost done. Almost done with it. Honking Penguins for Life. Hell yes. Yes, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is a classic. I have still not watched Muppet Family Christmas. So is it really almost Christmas if I haven't watched Muppet Family Christmas yet? If I have not watched my ripped copy, my ripped UK DVD, because there was some stuff in the original broadcast that they didn't license, or they didn't have they had the rights for the original broadcast of it because it was a TV special, but not for repeated viewings. So the VHS that came out in America didn't have a little bit of the medley towards the end, and it didn't have a incredible vaudeville performance between Fozzie and the Snowman. The Snowman gets introduced, and then there's a song and dance, and then he's in the house talking to people, and in the repeat viewings and the American VHS, the song just isn't there. It's a comedy song between the Snowman and Fozzie, and it goes well. And like Fozzie gets laughs, and it's not, and he's just like blown away because they do a vaudeville, two-man, and Fozzie realizes maybe he needs to be a duo act, and then he forgets that and never brings it up again, but whatever. So I have that, and I have the DVD, the UK DVD rip of it, which is the best quality that available. And I watch that every Christmas because I fucking love it. All right, did I do all of these? I just have one extra. I'm pretty sure I just have one of these extra. I'll put that aside, but I think I did all of this. All right, now we're down to the final steps, which is these here. And once we're done with that, then we've completed all this, and then we can move on to the next part of the build, which I think is assembly of that. But yeah, I love Muppet Family Christmas. If you've not seen it, the gang, the Muppet gang, decide they're all going to go and visit Fozzie's mom. Fozzie's mom has a house out in the woods, and they're all going to visit. Now, did Fozzie tell his mom? No. Well, Fozzie's mom is going to leave. She's off to go to the Bahamas, I believe. Yes. She's going to go on a tropical vacation. Does she tell her son that? No. But don't worry, because the house will be okay, because she's renting it out. Long before the days of Airbnb, she's renting out the house to an old man and a dog. That old man and that dog, you guessed it. They are part of the larger Muppet world. God, what I'm going to look up specifics here. I didn't think I'd be talking about Muppet Family Christmas, so we'll do this. I'm going to look this up here. Muppet Family Christmas. Yes. This is Doc. Doc shows up from Fraggle Rock. They do have that version on Disney Plus in the extras. No idea if the quality is any better. Yeah, I have no idea if they have that, but I'm glad that the Disney Plus version has the stuff that got cut from the American VHS. That's good. It's debatable that this is debatable here. Perhaps one could make the argument that Muppet Family Christmas involves every of the main four brands and branches of Jim Henson's Muppets, because you've got the Muppet Show guys, and then later apparently Fozzie also invited everyone from Sesame Street to arrive, and a lot of Sesame Street arrives, which is dope. And of course Fraggle Rock is there. The Fraggles make an appearance. They sing a song that they sang very early in the show that feels very Christmassy, and they only have so many presents, and they just rotate them around, and most of them are rocks because they're the Fraggles, and it's very cute. But at one point, they show home movies, and actually, that's the other thing that I forgot. The other thing I forgot is most of the home movies are not aired in the VHS version because the song, they didn't have the license to sing the song on VHS because they got the licenses for this music, some which is copywritten or still within copyright at the time, and they had to perform, or they're going to perform it. They got the rights to do it for the live TV version, not the the TV version, I should say, and then they didn't have it for the home version. That footage that, again, someone could edit, basically in the VHS cut, which I think is actually, like, they did a good job of this. They start to play the home movies and then Animal runs through the screen, and so they can't watch it anymore. In the original version and then the UK version, they actually see this home movies, and it's the Muppets as children singing a song and hanging out, and it's not animated, it's live action Muppets, but you could argue that that's the Muppet Babies, thus making Muppet Babies canon, because the Muppet Babies and some of the movies, particularly Muppets Take Manhattan, have different origin stories for how all of the Muppets met, or a lot of the Muppets met. And Muppet Babies presupposes that they all knew each other as kids, and Muppet Family Christmas presupposes that a lot of them knew each other as kids. Also, I should point out that for some people, Muppet Family Christmas doesn't make any fucking sense because they're from parts of the world where there were different human actors or actor in the lead role surrounding the Muppet, the Fraggle Rock. For a lot of people, Fraggle Rock was dubbed into their language, and in a lot of countries, they had a different guy or a lady or a family, and they had a different wraparound. So it's only the North American version of it that has Doc played by Gary Parks, the legendary Gary Parks. All right. So now I'm going to connect this around, and this one goes on last. And then when it's done, these should all connect together. So now we get to do what might be the most fun part of this build, which is doing this all here. We'll get it all together there. And again, I think this is going to be all of this stream and some of Thursday's stream. We might finish this tonight. This might be a one build stream. But I don't think so. So now I'm going to connect all this. It's going to be bigger than the overhead, so you'll just have to trust me that I'm doing this properly. Once it's all connected, it should be easy to see it. So yeah, I haven't watched Muppet Family Christmas. It's beautiful. Fozzie sings "I'll Be Home for Christmas" to his mom. Miss Piggy was on a photo shoot or a commercial shoot or something, and she is late and trying her best to make it in time for Christmas so she can be there for everybody. It's full of great songs. Swedish Chef meets Big Bird and is freaked the fuck out by the side. The Big Bird is big, and Swedish Chef is freaked out by that. And then Swedish Chef eventually realizes, oh, I shouldn't try to cook and eat this big bird. Apparently, Swedish Chef doesn't notice the various chickens that are there, but did definitely notice Big Bird, and is just like, oh yeah, this will be fine, because Big Bird has empathy and recognizes that Swedish Chef, a man that Big Bird does not know, realizes that Swedish Chef is an immigrant and might be particularly lonely because even though Swedish Chef is there with friends, he's not there with his family. And he probably hasn't seen his family in a very long time because Big Bird is a child and therefore has built-in empathy. And it's goddamn lovely. All right, so now we're going to complete the wreath here. Boom. Check that shit out. That's fun. We got a wreath. We can just stop right here. Swedish Chef also happy to take out a chicken. Also, hi, Pat. Hello, Aristofan. All right, so we have completed the basically bag one, which is funny because I could, how am I not doing, what are we talking about? All the bags were opened when I did the first build, which was the hardest build a while ago. All right, I am going to zoom out, a rare instance where I am zooming out so that we can get most of, Can I zoom up? No. Yeah. I am now zoomed out. Camera's going to shake. My apologies. I zoomed out some so you can see most of this build as we go, because this is a big build. Not since we did the Stranger Thing house have I built something so large on stream. It's been a while since I built a big friend. All right, so this is going to be actually slightly off center, it looks like, for now. And then we got to build some stuff to go around it. I only have 2 of these, so I guess I'll start assembling in the middle. And it's flexible too. Yes, Lord Crashington. There's some give to this, which may be a problem, but because it's going to be flat anyway, it's fine. But there is some give to this, which is nice. Oh, and we got our first greenery. We need 4 of these. No, that. Okay, so we got some greenery here. But we already did, I think, in my opinion, would probably be the most tedious thing. Maybe it's not the most tedious, but I think it's pretty tedious. Anyway, I'm going to watch Muppet Family Christmas at some point. I think tomorrow I'll watch that in the afternoon. Got to do my Santa hat, which I've been wearing primarily here on stream. I'll be wearing that tomorrow as I act as Santa. And I give out gifts among the house here. We do our Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. We like to send them out. A lot of the presents, we do know what they are. They came from other family members. My great uncle still sends me money, which rules. And guess what, friends? The money that my great uncle sends goes into the expensive model kit fund. If you are unaware of what I'm talking about, I get gift cards every year for Amazon from people. I used to get bigger gift cards than I currently do now. But I get a ton of gift cards from people, and I take all of the money that I get from gift cards and put that together. And then with that money, I buy an expensive model kit, and y'all are going to be able to vote on that. I will have voting up for like several days. I haven't decided how many days. I don't know when I'm going to start it. But it'll probably be a couple days after Christmas when I've gotten all my stuff together. But I will have a bunch of gift cards together. I will figure out my budget, and then I will put up a poll. Like I'll do a Google poll. And people will be able to vote on what I should buy. And they're always expensive. Like I could take that money and buy a bunch of $20 to $30 high grades, or I can buy 1 or 2 very expensive kits. And it's sometimes a nice excuse for me to get something completely buck wild and bizarre to build. And so I'll put a poll up. The fun thing is I never put the price up on the poll, and maybe the price is up, and maybe some people do their own research, but generally people pick the most expensive thing. Last year they didn't. I don't remember what last year's was, but it wasn't the Zaku Warrior, which was the most expensive kit possible. Looking right now, if I made the poll tomorrow, what would be the most expensive kits? Let me look at my Amazon wish list here. And let me sort by price highest to low. And of course, that's not giving me actually low. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to include the Tall Geese Flugen EW, the Endless Waltz. That's the Tall Geese from Endless Waltz. Flugen, which is just the upgrade one. It's from the manga upgrade, because right now that's $120. Free delivery though. I added that to my wish list on Christmas Day in 2022, apparently. So I don't necessarily think I'm going to include that one. But because I have to see how much money I have to go towards that as far as gift cards. And also, as I said, the money that came in from my great uncle, who still sends me checks, which is very nice of him. If you're wondering who still writes checks, it's my great uncle does. The one that definitely will go on the list, that is one of the most expensive things on my list, is the Master Grade. And it's been a while since we did one of those. Zaku Warrior live concert version. We have done a Zaku Warrior. We haven't done a master grade of the Zaku Warrior, but we've done a Zaku Warrior before. And this is the live concert one. It is when people have asked me somewhat jokingly, what's the gayest mobile suit? And I have said, well, it's the Zaku Warrior live concert version because it's like pink and from like a fun, cute concert. So like that's the best one in that. And then I have a couple other things that are expensive. There's another 100 master grade. A lot of master grades, old master grades, very pricey. The RX-783 G3 Gundam. It's the version 2 of it. It's just a big ass Gundam that's like $65. Prime shipping on that one, which is nice. The Zaku Warrior right now is $95. Yeah, that would be better to wait for the P Bandai reprint. Yeah, Last Brick, but who knows? Also, will I have the money for that? Will I have the money at that time? One of the reasons why I put those things, one of the reasons I get it is because it's like every year those master grades are going to get more and more expensive. And also, you got to remember that next year, premium Bandai shipping might become unbelievable. It might just become ridiculous to buy anything from premium Bandai. We don't know. I have no idea. I cannot look into the future and let you know, but signs are not pointing to like good on anything that's coming in from Japan. We'll fucking see, but things are going to get rough for a variety of reasons. Things are going to get a little rough there. We'll see what happens. Of course, there will be folks that have it worse, like our friends in the United Kingdom and Europe. They're definitely gonna have it worse on a lot of things. That's their own doing. That's not because of the United States government. That's their own issues. But yeah, it's gonna be confluence here. International shipping is gonna be kind of fucking fucked. So if you can get prime shipping on something, I don't advocate for Amazon necessarily. I do have a wish list on Amazon, but I'm not out here saying like you should do that. I mean, really, what you should do is shop locally. P Bandai does ship domestically, Last Rook, but it is going to cost more money for them to import to then ship domestically, and that money doesn't get eaten. That money, they're not going to eat the cost. Bandai is not going to eat the cost on the shipping increases they're going to have on product. They're going to pass that on to other people. So what I'm saying is, if they do a re-release of that, it might not be shipping, but shipping is going to fuck that up. Tariffs are going to fuck that up, and I can see premium Bandai stuff that is pre-ordered becoming unbelievably expensive next year, like a lot of other things. Unfortunately, it won't just be premium Bandai, but it'll be a lot of things that are like, well, this is shipping in the United States, but it's like, well, how did it get to the United States? All right, I got to be careful because these things like to pop off gear. So we'll see. And maybe it won't be. Maybe Bandai is going to eat the cost, and that's the price of doing business. And they'll just be like, well, it's more expensive to get stuff out there, but we're selling at such a high markup anyway from our premium stuff that it'll be okay. And whatever we don't sell, we'll just sell at conventions anyway. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, no. Sorry, Lashbrook. You're right. That it may have sounded like what I was saying was that premium Bandai stuff, they were going to increase their shipping costs. What I meant was their own shipping is going to cost more, and they're going to pass on the cost to us, their increased fees. But yeah, considering how poorly they pack them, usually the shipping already seems high. I don't disagree with you. Yes, I do have one premium Bandai thing in there coming to me. And these days, I'd much rather buy something that I can get in a few days or, a couple weeks to build on stream. Because my backlog is not as big as it used to be. But I do have one kit. I have the Dragon Gundam. The fact that I'm getting a Dragon Gundam high grade, I'm so happy about that. I was shocked about the Rose, and now I'm very excited about that. And of course the Gundam Maxter. The fact that I'm getting the Dragon Gundam high grade, I had to pre-order it when it was available, and kind of dealt with that at the time. That's next year. That's going to be a really fun build when that comes in. That'll jump the queue, and I'll just build it probably. Okay, so now this whole step 20 is just take this and put it here. That was step 20. Turn the page. I'm going to drink a little water. My throat is parched. This is not going to show up well. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, good. Like that. There you go. Check it out. It's a Christmas glass. We got Christmas glasses, and we didn't take them out earlier. We took them out later than we should have. But yeah, using the Christmas glass in the spirit. Oh, and then we got a decoration here, and our first of these. I'm sure I'll be using a lot of these to decorate here. And then this goes on there. And then I don't know if this is supposed to be like wax that fell off the candles or whatever, but whatever. Put that there. They're going to be a lot of this. It seems like it's going to be me turning the page because they're not filling. They're like, these steps are like, oh, do this one thing. Oh, no, do the other part of it. It's like, oh, okay. Do that. Sure. All right. A couple news stories. An update to a news story that we covered previously. You may know the company Vallejo. They make acrylic paints for like models and such. Have we used any on this stream? No, but like a lot of people do for their Warhammers and their model kits and things like that. Their miniatures. Workers in the Catalonian plant have been on strike for 26 days because it is just they got an investment from the company, which I was unaware until I started, doing even the minimalist research. I was unaware that the company was originally founded in New Jersey and then moved out to Spain. Basically, 85 workers, almost all of the 85 workers in this plant did a walkout. They did a work stoppage for 16 days in November, being like, hey, we're serious. You got to fucking fix this. And according to a post on their Blue Sky page, a pre-agreement has been signed that would guarantee workers a salary increase, a parental aid package, new workplace harassment protocols, and occupational safety improvements, because they've basically said that like they're working under very dangerous conditions. And then on top of that, there is just rampant harassment, from various peoples within the company, and no way to report that or to get any sort of help in that regard. And it has been increasingly difficult to get management to listen. So they ended up, they did that in there, and then they went on full strike in December. When their walkout didn't change anything, they just went on strike. And as a reminder, this has been a year since they were, Vallejo was bought by a $53 million from Pro A Capital. Let's see. And according to their leader of the union, these striking efforts, let me just get this looking like that. There we go. We did that. Okay. Alleged conditions at the factory were not only dangerous, but not in compliance with Spanish law, which, that adds to it if it's also dangerous and then also, illegal. Lack of employee showers, which is a requirement for companies which work with hazardous materials. and dangerous chemicals, and machinery in disrepair. Panels from the factory ceiling were often broken and falling, allowing rain to fall on the factory floor. God. An authoritarian work environment with unreasonable expectations for worker productivity, which led to them following a lawsuit. Company safety protocols were biased and portray victims of harassment as the perpetrator. One employee who filed a complaint against the company was alleged fired 3 days later on grounds of low productivity. So yeah, then they would also, when people complained enough, they would fire them. Because of course they would, and come up with reasons. And then also they fired some people that were like talking about this and bringing things to attention, and then they were blaming problems on the people they had fired. Like, don't worry about it. We fired the person responsible for that. Labor actions had pushed Vallejo management to set aside any discussions of productivity and begin genuine negotiations. Final agreements announced. Salary increase. Social parental package. Education allowance for each child below 25 years of age. And the money you get for that goes up 1.5 if you're multiplied 1.5 if you're a single parent family. But yeah, hell yeah, congratulations to all involved there. So yeah, that was an update that I was happy to give about that, and my hope is that these working conditions improve for these folks, and coordinated worker action produces results. So that's lovely. It's not an easy thing to do, but it is the right thing to do, and it can produce positive results. So hell yeah. All right, let's keep working on this. We're working on our decorations here. We got the bulk of this thing done, and now it's just to build up. Now we just gotta build it up. Let's see. Hothead Games has shut down. This was a 20, almost like I believe 16 years studio. They're a Canadian studio. They have filed for bankruptcy. We do not know how many employees they have or had. This is a Vancouver-based studio that was established in 2006. This was a lot of people from Radical Entertainment, and they focused on digital console and PC titles. And then they started working on free-to-play mobile games. And one thing that was kind of interesting about this is, yes, they made the first two Penny Arcade adventure games and the Death Spank games. Yes. So yeah, they were doing like digital console and PC stuff, and then they kind of moved into the mobile space after a while. But one thing that was kind of fun is the president and CEO, Ian Wilkinson, on LinkedIn shared this thing, and I read a summary of it. I'm not going to go on fucking LinkedIn if I don't have to. But he had a summary of stuff and basically talked about the highs and lows of doing this, and a lot of stuff that like just didn't fucking work. We threw all kinds of small, inexpensive games at the wall to see what stuck. Surprise, 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 nothing stuck. Which I think is like great. It's like, yeah, we just tried a bunch of bullshit and hoped one of them will be good, and then none of the bullshit was good or did well. I was like, oh yeah, okay. They did sports games under the Big Win brand and shooting games under the Rivals at War brand. And then they had the Kill Shot sub-brand. And apparently they did pretty well at the time. Over the past year, they've been working on a playable prototype for a AAA project. And they were looking for contracts with publishers so they could develop mobile PC and console versions of the game. But that didn't fucking work out. That just didn't end up coming to fruition. 2 weeks later, we were ready, and the mobile publisher pulled out, and then 2 weeks later, the console publisher pulled out, and at that point, that's it. They, they were counting on it. They were project to project. And so when two different publishers, like within 2 weeks, just be like, nah, then you're done. When you were basically using that money to keep the lights on, and then you do not have that money to keep the lights on, then yeah, you're probably done. Which is fucking sad, especially for a company that existed for a lot of years, 18 years. And yeah, it seemed nice. It was a nice little write-up. I mean, we don't know how many people were working there that have been laid off, but that is certainly a shame. But we do try to I try to keep up to date on the closures and all of that, despite it being a fucking bummer often. Okay, so we gotta talk about this fucking NBA shit. I didn't talk about this before. This is from a few days ago. Actually, this is last week. This is a story from last week, and I kept being like, I'll talk about this later because it's fine. The Charlotte Hornets fucking tried to pull a goddamn fast one on a fucking kid, and but don't worry about it. They're trying to fix their obvious fucking blunder. So what am I talking about here? So the Charlotte Hornets, basically they did like a halftime thing, and they gave a kid a PlayStation 5. And then when the cameras were off, they took the PlayStation 5 back because they weren't actually giving this kid a PlayStation 5. They were doing a Christmas themed, like the Hornet is Santa. They were like doing like, oh, and here's a present you won. But he didn't win the present because they were like, nah, actually. And then people were rightfully like, hey, fuck off, Hornets. Give that kid a goddamn PS5. What are you doing? What the fuck are you talking about? And the team is going to make sure he actually gets it. On December 16th, during a basketball game with the 76ers and the Charlotte Hornets, young fans were brought on the court to greet the cheerleaders and the team's mascot, which, standard fare for this kind of a thing. While in court, a woman read their Christmas letters to Santa and handed out gifts. One kid who worked really hard to get good grades this year. You forgot about this? I thought you meant the Lakers One Piece thing. No, that's cool as hell. That's just, it's going to be One Piece night at a Laker game. LA is fucking wild for that shit. I mean, LA is making some fucking moves, and I don't dislike it. But this is some bullshit. Apparently this kid worked hard to get the good grades, and he's just like, hey, I really want a PS5. Now, I will say this. Respect for this kid for not being like, I would like a PS5 Pro, please. Just a PS5. That's all I want. And there's video clips of this kid just being like, holy fuck, yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Really psyched about it. And then after the halftime event was done, somebody came up and took the fucking PS5 away and gave him a fucking basketball jersey. A football jersey would be actually funny. Gave him a fucking jersey. They just did it for the fucking pop. They did it for the good press. But enough people fucking saw it that were like, hey, what the fuck? And also, apparently, because you can see it in the video, everyone's fucking confused, including the cheerleaders. I don't know if the Hornet is confused because it's a mascot, but everyone else is just like, wait, what just happened here? And apparently, they planned this shit out because the kid was there with his uncle, and apparently the uncle knew. So they did ahead of time say, hey, we're doing this thing, and and then we'll give him a PS5 box, but it's not a real PS5, and he doesn't get to give you a PS5. And apparently, this uncle didn't go like, hey, so this is what's happening. Like, just like, let that shit happen, which is fucking wild and rude as hell. Because it's like, I'd be like, well, then I don't want to do it. What? Why can't I have a PS5? What? I worked real hard. I kept my grades up. As you might expect, this is according to the article, he's a season ticket holder, which makes me assume he could have gotten him a PS5 anyway. I mean, you never know, Lord Crashington. Some people spend money they don't have on stuff like that. But who knows? This is from the Kotaku article. As you might expect, a teen worth billions cheaping out and taking away kids' Christmas gift after pretending to give it to them in front of cameras didn't go over well online. Yeah, I mean, yes. People rightfully called out the team and its staff for the horrible prank, and within 24 hours, the Hornets issued an apology. They said on-court skit missed the mark and blamed it on bad decision-making and poor communication. Here's the thing. You can't call it a skit because that's not what it was. It was you can't call it a skit or an improv. The best you can do is call it a prank, in which case you could go fuck yourself. Blaming it on the team they hired to do this halftime event. Yes. But my point is, this is not a skit. It's a segment. It's a stunt. But it's not a skit. What? Can't call it. Don't call it. I mean, don't call anything a skit unless you're doing it around a campfire, but whatever. We turned the ball over and we apologize. We have reached out to the family and are committed to not only making it right, but to exceeding expectations. Well, maybe a PS5 Pro. No. PS5, he should have taken home last night, along with VIP experience to a future game. And that's pretty fucking cool, you know. That is pretty cool for a kid to get the old VIP experience. Our goal is and will remain to elevate the guest experience for every person that enters Spectrum Center and show our fans how much we appreciate their relentless support. And we should also just say it's still Charlotte. Yes, well, Lord Carson, yes, because they did lose that night 121 to 108 to the Sixers. And maybe they would have won if they had given that kid a PlayStation 5. But also, it should have said, we're going to get this kid a PlayStation Pro, a PS5 Pro, because we hear that shit's cool. We don't know if it's like supported enough yet, but it seems pretty great. So we're going to get it. We'll get him the upgrade. Yeah, that shit is fucking wild and fuck off. Oh, it's after 10, which means it's time for the pause for the cause. Gotta get in my ad reads here. Gotta get into that. I didn't even realize I was so busy being mad at the Charlotte Hornets that I didn't even realize what time it was. Okay. Now is the part of the stream. We're back with the Christmas lights. Hell yeah. Found this animated GIF and I'm very happy about it. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you. About ways that you can support what I do here through various means. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to do them, you're more than welcome to. But again, you don't have to. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the best way to support me, the easiest way to support me, I should say, because you're already here on Twitch. Reminder, don't use the app. You can do Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime and you have linked to your Twitch, you get a token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use it for me, your friend Pat, well, you could. You could just do that if you wanted to. You could also gift a sub, like Aristofan and Mr. Kung Fu Grip did. And also, there's an anonymous person that did that, which is rad. And then also, bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to be top on the cheerleader board, nobody's at the cheerleader board right now. So if you want to jump in there, you can. That's the easiest way to support me financially because you're already here on Twitch, of course. If you wanted to, there are other ways to support me, and I'll try to get through this quick so we can get back to building. Here are some other ways to support me financially. Patreon, patreon.com/Pat Baer. Over on my Patreon, you can do that at the $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. Sorry, I have to move this. I had so much Lego that I had to move my my keyboard. So I got to move my keyboard now. I'm doing that. That's the easiest way. Patreon, different rewards, different tiers. Consider joining me there if you'd like to. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/Pat Baer. Over on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free. Please do watch my videos. That would be great. Also on my Patreon, on my YouTube, you can become a member. And for just $2 a month, just $2 a month, you can get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So in the new year right now, literally tomorrow, you will get to see what my fourth favorite anime of the 90s is. One of my favorite anime of the 90s is, because that's the theme this month. And you'll find out what the theme for January is before anyone else does. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to do a tip jar, a one-time donation to my my PayPal or my Ko-Fi, you could do that. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and out of that fund, I buy model kits and Lego sets. This Advent wreath that we're currently working on right now, which you can't really see because of the background mover, I bought this years ago. People who might not even be watching the streams these days helped me pick that up. Or you, because some of you were here. I do have a backlog full of stuff I'm happy to work on. I'm currently working through some stuff that Aristofan picked up off my Amazon wishlist, which is very kind of them. And they jumped the queue. The stuff in my backlog, I said, no, I'm not going to work on that. Instead, I'm going to work on the things that were purchased by somebody in the community. I made a dedicated YouTube video about those things. And if you also would like to have a video about the things that you purchased from me, have it jump to the queue, become the next thing I work on, you can jump over to my Amazon wish list. Right over on that wish list, I added a few new things. I added this kind of quick probably to build a lotus flower Lego set, which just looks really cute. A physical, real 500-piece puzzle, Magic the Gathering puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle, a bunch of things. Model kits, Lego sets, all kinds of different things. See if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. I'd be happy to do it. And a reminder, there are people working for third parties and Amazon factory employees still on strike. They are not asking for a boycott of Amazon, but you do you. You live how you want to live. I gotcha. I understand. I have a Throne wish list. That is my alternative to Amazon because it's nice to have alternatives. Over on my Throne wish list, I've got some model kits, lots of gift card stuff. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build or just want to help me out. And the most convoluted way to support me financially, if you want to get weird with it, is USA Gundam Store. Over on USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card. They will send you an email with that gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM, a private message on Blue Sky or Twitter or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. You can certainly make a suggestion of something you'd like to see me put together. That's the most convoluted way to do it, and people have, which is awesome. I have a Discord if you want to support me but not spend any money. I fucking get it. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. It's a nice little place. Check it out. Couple video links for you to check out. I have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's my top 10 list. I don't have a written list this year because co-host is dead and I don't have a blog anywhere. So I didn't write out a long thing. Instead, and I might do a thread. I might do a thread on Blue Sky, maybe, where I write a little bit about each one. I might do that. I haven't decided. But I can tell you that you can watch the video version of my top 10 list, and there are 11 things I talk about, because I have an honorable mention, and I bring up last year's honorable mention. Because some people would ask, like, well, is Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead going to end up on your top 10 list? And the answer is no, because the last couple episodes weren't that good, even though I think it's fantastic, and I think the pilot episode is worth watching. But yeah, I talked about my top 10. Check it out. And then Kuma Baer. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. All this month, I've been talking about my favorite anime from the 1990s. And so I talked about Trigun. Vash the Stampede is one of the best characters in anime. He's a goofball who is pretending to be cool and also pretending to be a goofball because he's really just a quiet, weird little man. And I love it. And you should watch the original watch the original Trigun with Vash because it's fucking rules. And I talked about it in under a minute on the video. So check that out. All right. I've got some anime to talk about because we didn't talk about the Dragon Ball Daima episode, and we got to do an episode of Ranma 1/2, the season finale of that, and episode 11 of Dragon Ball Daima. So we'll talk about those two things. Before I do that, I'll have to move this keyboard here, but I also have to drink some water, and then we have to dramatically transition back to our overhead camera, and we'll do both those things right now. Also, it got real cold around here, and my nose is not loving the current weather here. So give me a second to just do this. I'm going to mute my microphone for a second. My apologies for that, but yikes. My nose is not happy currently with the sudden weather it's like it got really cold and then it got warm again and then it got real cold and like it's almost getting actually cold, not like South Carolina cold, like it's almost, oh shit, it's cold. Lord Crashton wants me to hit the dance button. For those unaware, use your channel points. One thing you can do is a dance button. I have a new song every month. We haven't heard this song that much. It's kind of Christmassy, but also kind of Southern Christmassy, or like a tropical Christmas. So let's play that right here. Thank you for using your channel points. But yeah, this is I didn't even think about this when I picked it, but this is definitely like tropical Christmas music. This song could also end up on my playlist. We've been toying with getting cold, but it's also like 78 today. Yeah, Lashbrook, yeah. We're not like that. Let me see. Let me check the old... Yesterday was colder than today. Today was supposed to be even colder than it ended up being, but yesterday was... Yeah, it's currently 44 degrees with the sun down, which, again, for some people, it's like, 44 degrees, that would be awesome. But for South Carolina, that's cold. It was this morning, it was 37 degrees before the sun was really up. So, and we're going to get a little bit of rain tonight, which is actually great. We need it. It's 44, but it feels like 39. So that's a little indication there. But yeah, we're getting some rain. Oh, but on Friday, we'll be back up to 60 degrees. So it's warming up again. Laura Chris says, the kind of Christmas song they play in a Hallmark movie. We've been in the mid-30s all day. Yeah. So like early morning, it being in the high 30s is like cold for around here at December. Generally, it gets coldest here in like February. But even then, it's not that cold. It just like at night, it drops, the temperature drops some. But it's not like oppressive. It's just, it's not oppressive or impressive. It ain't gonna snow, I'll tell you that fucking much. Oh God, this whole area would shut down. They have no infrastructure for that. No ideas how to do that. I don't even think we have like, we'd have to, yeah. We don't even have machines to like, they don't have trucks for sand, you know, to sand the roads. It would be a nightmare if it snowed here. Even a little bit of snow. No one's got their vehicles. Nobody's vehicles could handle that. It would be an absolute chaos. Anyway, enough weather talk. Let's talk about fucking anime. So yeah, Saturday I got in conversation, got to us here, and lost track of time. Didn't talk about episode 11 of Dragon Ball Daima. Gotta get out the spatulas. Yeah, I mean, people would just end up using like kitty litter. I'm sure that's what people would end up using. They would just use that for traction, because they wouldn't have anything else. There are plenty of trucks here. They just don't have the tires for it. They got off-roading trucks. Season 1, episode 11 of that. So, you may remember in the previous episode that are not actual villains, but the other villains made a new Majin, and that Majin sucked ass. Which is not, it had Cybermen in it. It didn't get the job done. Anyway, episode 11. Everyone is now finally, like been united, because Goku met up with Bulma and Piccolo and Vegeta. Now they're all together. Piccolo and Neva talk, and Neva's like, you look like this other guy, named Katatz. And he's like, that's my dad. My dad is Katatz. King Piccolo. Neva talks about what he, Goma, and Degesu did with the Earth Dragon Balls. Piccolo, he's like, I would have tricked Goma if he had made a different wish. But Neva apparently Neva saw all of this coming, which is like, well, great. You didn't prevent any of it, but you envisioned it. So congratulations, I guess. But Neva's just like, I definitely did not think that you would get one of the Demon Realm's Dragon Balls, and especially do it so fast. That surprised me. Neva's like, hey, take me with you. You're going to need me because I speak Namekian, and you're going to need to speak Namekian to talk to the Demon Realm dragon. Which is like, you're telling me that this dragon can grant wishes but can't understand other languages? That seems kind of sus. Right? To use a term I don't often use, but I will use it when it's appropriate. That seems like, I don't know about that one. I don't know if they should totally believe that. Anyway, Piccolo's like, I don't speak Namekian, so, because I lived on Earth for too long. Elsewhere, we go to Dr. Aransu and Majin Ku. Remember, Majin Ku is the new Majin that turned out to be not great. Did not get the job done. This new Majin sucks. They didn't use enough of Majin Buu in it when they made Ku. So they have other parts of Majin Buu, and they put in the concoction. They're going to try again. And they're going to put the seed of the Cybermen in deeper. And they're like, okay, apparently that's going to, supposedly if they put the seed in, like that'll make this one I was confused about. And also now I haven't watched it in a while. Yeah, it's kind of surprising how easily they just decided to roll with a dude who turned them into children. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, all right. But basically, they're like, okay, yeah, we'll make a new version. They're going to the second Demon Realm. Neva explains that he made these Dragon Balls as a reward to fellow Namekians that live there. But evil people found out about the Dragon Balls. And he was like, I need to protect these dang things. So that's why they made the Tamagamis, to protect them. It makes sense. It actually, to me anyway, is weirder that on Earth, they just scatter them and you just have to find them. Now, obviously, people weren't finding them until Dragon Ball Radar. But still, you could just find them and then it was cool. and you didn't have to worry, like, so the idea that there are guardians protecting them maybe makes more sense. Maybe this one part of this anime that is kind of weird makes some amount of sense. I'll give him this. He wanted to make it harder for people to use Dragon Balls. Like I said, yeah. My notes here. Vegeta calls dibs on the next one. Let's see. Ku helps create the next Majin, which is called Majin Du. D-U-U, Majin Du. It's not French, but I can't say it without saying French. This is a joke just for me, that it's Majin Du. Oops. Uh-oh. There it is. I dropped one of these and couldn't find it, and then this fell off. Now, which one? Oh, it's over here. Great. But yeah, Majin Du. Again, that is a silly joke just for me. Majin Du wants chocolate because it's got a lot of boo in it. Makes me wonder what Majin was like. Yeah, so like, because Majin, so it's Ku is like the C, and Du, and Boo is the second one. So Au was the first one, and I have to imagine that Majin Au was just fucking was like a badass and too smart, which is why they made Majin Buu dumb. That's my guess. My guess that Majin Buu was fucking real, was just like a real pain in the ass to deal with. Wait, so which one, what's this? Wait. Okay, yeah. So, it's two. Whoops! God damn it! This one, I don't want to describe this as delicate, but I am now lost here on where I was building. So that's where we're at now. Okay, so let's see. That's this one here. Okay, we're here. We're now no. There's there. Then there's this one. And then this goes like this here. And then no. I'm in the wrong city. Oh, sorry everybody. I got confused and I don't know where I'm at. Okay, so there's two here. That one is this one. Okay, so that one is this one here. Okay. So we put these there, and we put two there. And then I don't think these are actually supposed to be there. Unless I'm in the wrong place here. No, because this is right. Okay, that's right. That goes there. Then, yes, okay, so this is correct. We're now in the right spot. So now step 46. Okay, that was stale. Okay, that was number 45. So now we're in bag 3. Which we didn't need these. Okay. That's what happened. I went too far on this. All right. So now I need 6 of these. Okay, sorry. So let me get back to talking about this anime. Wants chocolate. Ku gets money so that Ku can go buy chocolate for Du and Ku. Du is like, hey, I got this Tamagami I need you to go beat up, so why don't you go beat that thing up? And Du is like, yeah, all right. So they go to the number 1, and then meanwhile, Goku's at the number 3. Vegeta fights it. This is a good little fight. Vegeta gets fucking kicked into the sea. And hey, remember the fucking Kraken from before? Well, the Kraken shows up and tries to eat Vegeta and then jump back into the goddamn sea. And the episode ends with everyone fucking freaked out because Vegeta got swallowed by a Kraken out of nowhere and he is fucking gone. It is nowhere to fucking be found. And that, I did not see that coming. The fight is pretty good. I remember it being pretty good. It's been a few days since I saw it. But the fight's pretty fun. It's nice to see Vegeta. Vegeta is struggling. Vegeta was like trying to go Super Saiyan. Vegeta is not having the best time in the world in this particular situation and doing his best. All right, now we're working on some bows. We got to make 2 bows here. So we'll need 2 of these. Let me just get everything that we need for this. We need 2 of these. We need 2 of each arrow here. I foresee that Kraken exploding next episode. I could see Vegeta just going through it. Yeah, we're still probably a ways away from using the thing to free fusion, because they've definitely hinted at. I mean, they not really hinted. They basically said, "Hey, there's going to be some fucking fusion in this." So we're not there yet, but we're probably going to get a fusion, like a new kind of fusion. And I need 8 of these. Great. All right. So let's make 2 bows here. Got to make some bows. All right. Now let's talk about the final episode of season 1 of Ranma 1/2. You may remember that episode 11 ended with Akane not knowing who Ranma is, saying that she doesn't know who Ranma is. And Shampoo did something to Akane, and he immediately thinks like, oh god, she's got amnesia. That's fucked up. Because they argue a lot, but they are starting to like one another. It is starting to kind of happen. Everybody wants to know how Akane's fight with. Akane was like, oh, it was fine. It was totally fine and easy. But Ranma doesn't believe that to be true. Again, she doesn't know who Ranma is. And her friends are just like, it's Ranma, you know him. Ranma takes Ryoga somewhere. Ryoga is in pig form, and then turns him back into Ryoga. And Ryoga's just like, yeah, I saw some of the fight, but I don't know. Shampoo definitely did something to Akane, but I don't know what. I didn't see what happened. Ranma and Akane go to Dr. Tofu's office, which we have not seen Dr. Tofu in a while. And thankfully, Dr. Tofu knows exactly what happened. Shampoo used a technique. I have written this down because I had to pause this and write it down because I was like, I'm never going to remember this. It is the Zifeng Shang Gao Shatsu technique. I know a couple of those words. It involves using pressure points, the Shatsu points, on their head, and it can wipe away people's memories. Like, so that literally, it's a memory erasing technique, which is fucked up, Shampoo. And apparently Shampoo is the only one, like, to figure that out, they're going to need Shampoo to help out. Ranma leaves to go find Shampoo. And apparently, this makes sense, right? He doesn't know who did this. It just so happens that a Chinese girl that did this, also, randomly, there's a Chinese girl that shows up and apparently works for Dr. Tofu. And that's just a weird coincidence, I fucking guess. All right. Oops. Dropped a piece. That, I mean, it's anime romantic comedy logic, goofball romantic comedy logic. So, it is what it is. Okay. So this goes on the red here. So we got to put the ribbon on there. And then the other ribbon goes on this one. Wait, that doesn't seem right. It goes on. Yeah, that goes there. So it's the one across it, which is this one. That doesn't. This seems. Okay. So I messed up something somewhere with the decorations here. I definitely messed this up somewhere. I think I messed up where some of these go. Maybe. I think it's fine. It doesn't necessarily matter because this goes here. This is right. This is right. And then that's like that. That's like this. That's correct. This seems right. And this is right. This is different. That goes like this. And then this is... yeah. Okay. At some point, I messed this all the fuck up. Goes like that. This is right. This goes like this. Then this is where this one would go. Okay. Oh, okay. No, that's right. Okay. So this goes like this. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, I did do that right. Great. I had this piece in the wrong spot and it really fucking threw me off. Okay. Great. Sorry, everybody. I thought I messed this up way more than I did. I just messed it up a little bit. Excellent. You'll love to see it. We are actually going to finish this tonight, which I thought we would be doing some of this on Thursday, and I thought wrong. We're probably going to be able to finish this tonight, which is awesome. I need 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 5 of these. We need 1 of these. And then we need a candle and a flame. So we need a candle and a flame. Didn't use this at all for the wreath, which makes sense. The regular Christmas wreath. Makes a lot of sense. We didn't do that. Okay, so I should also mention this technique. Shampoo uses shampoo for this technique because it is a Shatsu points. So shampoo uses shampoo, and I'll try to explain that when it's appropriate. It is a weird thing that I am saying out loud when I say this. Okay, so then we turn this like this, and then it goes there. Okay. So let's see. What else do I need to say in this episode? Okay. Everybody's confused. Akane attacks Ranma. Okay, yeah, so Shampoo is around, and Shampoo hugs Ranma, because Shampoo likes Ranma now. Both likes Ranma and hates Ranma. So, Akane gets mad, and she doesn't know why she was mad, and it's residual. It's somewhere inside. Shampoo tries to use the technique again because it's wearing off, or she didn't do it fully. But Ranma tries to reverse it. Tofu shows up, and he's just like, "You need to use the technique using a certain kind of shampoo." And Tofu has the recipe for it, but Tofu gets completely thrown by a compliment from Kasumi and rips up the recipe. Really fucking stellar job, my dude. Just like aces. Okay, so then this goes on this one here. Then wait, did I miss one of these? Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a bridge here. No, but that's this one. Okay, yeah, so I did definitely mess up this. This is supposed to be here. And then one goes there. Are there 4 of these? There's 4 of these, and I only built 1, 2, 3. I missed one. I'm supposed to have 4 of these. This is supposed to also be a bridge here. So I did mess up something. Hooray! I was like, something feels wrong, and it's because I didn't do a thing. So I was supposed to do one here. I skipped a step somewhere. There was a point where I thought I hadn't skipped a step. Or I thought I'd skipped a step, and then I was like, oh, I didn't skip a step. And then I realized, oh no, I did skip a step. So we're now going to correct my mistake right now. So I can put one of these candles together. Great. Our second candle is in place, and it's a smaller candle than the other one, because that happens. By the end of your Advent season, you have candles of different height, because they're up for different amounts of time. It's accurate. Okay. Ranma is going out to try to buy the Chinese shampoo. But apparently Shampoo has that. Shampoo, the girl has it, has the thing he's looking for. So there's a big long chase. And he's like, I'll give you what you want. I'll grant you a wish. Like, I don't know. What do you want? Like, give me the damn shampoo. And so Shampoo is just like, I need you to kill this woman for me. And the woman that Shampoo wants Ranma to kill is the female version of Ranma. So that doesn't help anything. Ranma meets with Ryoga, and he accepted his request, and Ranma agreed to half kill the female version of himself, which I don't know how that's going to work out. And so he's just like, okay, beat me up, which just seems like grasping at straws and like it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's one of those things where you're like, well, how else am I going to beat up myself? And then the 2 dads show up and they also start beating up Ranma. They jump in on the beat up, and then it ends with Akane showing up and being like, hey, what's going on? Why is everybody beating up this dude? To which Ranma explains what's going on, and Akane starts to kind of remember who Ranma is. And Ranma is trying to encourage that. And then Akane slaps Ranma, which is appropriate for the situation. And then Shampoo shows up and it's just like, ah, shit. So then Shampoo fights Akane, and Ranma stops her from killing Akane. And then Ranma reveals to Shampoo via water, hey, I am the person you want to kill. And he doesn't explain it with like the water. He's like, I used to dress as a guy he basically is like, I've always been a girl. I was a guy in disguise, which is kind of true, but not true at all. Shampoo leaves, and then Ranma and Ryoga have like a little guy-to-guy heart-to-heart, and Ranma like feels bad about Shampoo and what's happened there, and that's kind of the end of season 1 is Ranma feeling like responsible for a lot of this, which is new. Ranma take responsibility, and also Ranma probably should have told her a long time ago, but who knows. I do like that Shampoo is still a fucking threat without being a dumbass. Like, the language barrier is not hindering her. But I thought it was a good end to season 1 overall. Overall, my thoughts on Ranma 1/2 season 1 are, hell yeah, this is pretty fucking good. This is pretty good anime. It looks fucking gorgeous, and it was fun to watch. And I'm a fan of the adaptation. Some of the fan service stuff was toned down, not all of it, but a lot of it, especially with Akane. It was violent in places. It's still very goofy. I've heard good things about the dub. I haven't personally watched the dub, but I have heard good things about it. So people were pretty jazzed about the dub, so that's cool. Overall, yeah, I'm just like happy it exists. I am generally one for not really being like, just watch the original, but the original Ranma 1/2 is sometimes a little hard to go back to in many ways, including the characterization of Shampoo. So it's both in the original and in the dub. Ooh, we dropped some frames there, but it looks like we're coming back here. My apologies, folks. But it looks like we're living good here. I need 8 of these. How many did I make? 8. Okay, great. And then we're almost done with this. I thought this was going to be 2 streams. I thought for sure that we would be finishing this on Thursday, and I'm not bummed that we aren't. That we wrapped it up, or we're wrapping it up. I'm just surprised. Yeah, it's not like, oh damn it, because I didn't mind doing a little bit of Christmas building on Boxing Day. The day after Christmas, but also that Pokemon, the Pokemon build was great. The original version of this, the other version of this, I should say, did take a couple streams. That was a really involved build, and this one is not as involved, but I still think it looks pretty neat. Every once in a while, it is nice to build something that I can show to my mother and not have to explain too much and be like, look, it's an Advent Wreath, and my mom will fucking understand. She will get it. She will get the reference. There we go. And then we're gonna build. Wait, where's this go? 6 of these. Oh, okay. Now it's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love to hear from you about what you got going on there. As far as gaming goes, just Hearthstone. I got a new deck that is a real bastard. That the setup is not too hard, and it is a hunter deck where you can really just make a bunch of minions and then make those minions real big and then hit your opponent in the face. And I've been playing that deck, and it's not good, but it's fun. There's a couple of different ways we can build this if we wanted to. We could do a way that is like hanging. We could do one that is where all the candles are together. So there are alt versions of this. Oh, and then the wreath, we could make this into a wreath if we wanted to, and use the hanger piece here if we wanted to do that. So we could do that. That's kind of neat. It gave us some options in the end here. If we wanted to turn this wreath into a hanging wreath, we could. But yeah, we also have the other little candles that kind of just live there. But that's build's done. We got a little time left in the stream, just kind of chat a bit. I'm not gonna go back to the Pokemon build here. But yeah, if there's anything you want to share with me about what you're up to or into, I'd love to hear it. I will tell you a reminder that my next stream will be Wednesday this week, Christmas Day evening, not Christmas Eve evening. I hate to see what happens if that gets knocked off the door or wall. Yes, I wouldn't hang this. Definitely wouldn't hang it. But yeah, my next stream is not tomorrow. I'm taking Tuesday off, and instead I am streaming on Wednesday. So if you would like to join me on Wednesday evening, we'll talk about our Christmases, and if we got up to anything. I will be playing Diorama Builder. There is a Christmas stage, a Christmas-themed build in that, and that is appropriate both for what I do around here and also just for the holiday and the seasonally appropriate, I thought. So I'll talk about that. Or we'll play that on Wednesday. Thursday, we'll go back to the Pokemon. The Pokedex here, the Kanto region Pokedex. We'll go back to build that. We're going to finish that, and then there is a Lego Dreams set that we can work on next. The Cat Motorcycle. You can see right there, Lego Dreams Cat Motorcycle, and that will then conclude our time with Aristophanes gifts. I'll talk about, I'll talk about probably on Thursday, like what I got for Christmas and all that, and then we'll start to figure out if we're gonna deal with when we're gonna start dealing with the various things I've gotta purchase here for the new year. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about 2025 the next couple streams. But I'm going to read what y'all have been writing here. Lashbrook says, my plans to play through KOTOR have been halted as I run into a game-breaking bug I haven't been able to fix. That fucking sucks. I'm sorry, Lashbrook. I watched a couple episodes of Gundam X, but it hasn't hooked me so far. So Gundam X is on Tubi now. Apparently it does not look particularly great, which is kind of par for the course. There are Blu-rays that came out. They did do a U.S. release of Gundam X. An official release on Blu-ray that does look good, reportedly. I would say you could find it out there if you're looking. Gundam X, here, the thing with Gundam X is, remember, they did G Gundam. G Gundam was the first non-canonical, non-Universal Century Gundam series. And it was a broad, big swing. Lots of big swings. But from the premise down to it, right? And then Wing was taking that idea of like doing something different outside of the century, but really doing a shonen, really going with like a 5 young guys doing it, like the team up thing. It was in many ways taking elements to the original Gundam, but really changing things and making some unique Gundams and some unique mobile suits and really going for it. And then X was taking the idea of doing something in a different storyline, but really digging into like new types. There was a little new type E, but not really that much new type E in Wing. But going back to a lot of stuff that that Gundam fans hadn't seen in many years. You'd say it's about DVD quality. It's funny because they did add the current Sunrise and Bandai Namco logos. Okay, yeah. The main thing with X is it's not Gundam Wing. It's also really slow. It's really slow up until the point where it gets canceled and their episode order gets cut, and they can finish it. They can finish X. It's not it, but they have to ramp up everything. And once it ramps up, it really gets going, but it's really slow in the beginning, and people hated it because it's dreary and drab, and there aren't a lot of Gundams. And some of the Gundams look cool. Some of the Gundams look really cool. But it takes a long time to really get going and get good. And it's kind of cliche in a lot of ways. And it's Hiro Yui isn't there. That's one of the big problems with X. It's not Wing. Lord Crashton says, been playing a lot of Wilmot Works It Out New Game Plus, which takes the 80 puzzles that get served to you in 10 puzzle seasons in the campaign and sends you puzzle pieces that could form any of the 80 puzzles for a bit of madness that is fun to sort through, as I remember some of these that I'm piecing together, while others are more difficult to figure out when it's just random colors. That, Lord Crashton, that sounds infuriating, but maybe in a good way. But yeah, that seems like a lot. Basically, Gundam X has some really good stuff going for it. Cool designs for some of the mobile suits. I think the X and the Double X are great. The G-Force backpack is phenomenally goofy in a way that I really love. Gundam X's legacy is that it's the Gundam series that Bandai doesn't talk about. The fact that there's any reference to Gundam X ever in anything is wild, even outside the Double X. And Dreams fucking rules. The music, Dreams from Gundam X, the OP, is unbelievably good. Because the one thing they recognized was Two Mix did such a fucking banger job on Wing that X needs to have some good music. We need some gravitas in there, and they do get it. The big room I have to sort through is just a bunch of pieces lined up around the edges of the room for easy searching. Well, that's nice. We're going to call it there. I will have more to talk about. I hope you... Hey. We're going to go on a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff. We're going to go spend some time with them. While I get this set up, I am going to tell you that I hope that you have a great holiday season. If you're with people for Christmas, you're with family, you're with friends, I hope it goes excellent for you. If you're not, if you're just hanging out, if it's just for you, a Tuesday night and a Wednesday afternoon, then I hope you have a great Tuesday and Wednesday. I hope things go very well for you and you have a good time. My friend Joe Kim, who does not stream that often, is currently streaming Witcher 3. So we're going to go hang out with Joe Kim because Joe Kim is great people and you'll have a good time. And I'm happy to go hang out with Joe Kim because Mary Kish is not streaming. And it's Merry Monday, but it's no Merry Christmas. Yeah. No Merry Christmas Mondays for us, unfortunately. So we are going to go raid my good friend Joe, and I hope you join me for this. I will be back on Wednesday. Oops, I got to copy and paste here. Sorry. I will be back on Wednesday with the stream. Again, I'm not streaming tomorrow, but I'll be back on Wednesday with my bonus stream, and then Thursday back to the Lego or the Pokemon build. Come along on this raid. And no spoilers for Collision. I already know what... not Collision. I already know what happened on Dynamite. Thursday, we're going to talk about the wrestling pay-per-view that I'm not going to watch live. I'm going to stream instead. But we'll talk about it on Thursday, World's End. Because I watched the last one, and I'm not going to take another Saturday off. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.